Hey guys, it's Rachel. I know the quality of this video is really shocking. I'm just having a complete nightmare with regards to technology, which just seemingly hates me all the time. So I'm having problems using the camera on my own laptop. I've been using my mum's and that's been freezing. I used Kate last week, so yeah. But I wanted to get the video up, and I do apologise for the quality of it, as I know that it isn't always great to watch videos, which is really crap, and I'm just hoping that I can get this up okay. Last week we started a rota about identity, and we tried to look at sexuality last week, so I'm hoping that some of that made sense to some of you. Today I wanted to look at the impact of emotional abuse on identity. Often when we think about abuse, we normally think about the sort of physical, sexual side of abuse, and I wanted today to take more of a focus on the emotional and psychological impact. Emotional abuse isn't as easy to understand, it isn't as easy to recognise for the person who's being emotionally abused, the person who's doing the abusing, the people around that person. And for me, in my personal opinion, it is actually the thing that I'm just gonna see if that's any better. For me, I feel that it is something that people fall into, people struggle with, but it's very difficult to know where the boundary is between kind of putting up with something, managing something, and trying to put together the pieces around how much is too much, and if we're being particularly sensitive to certain issues, illness, all types of illness, not just mental illness, eating disorders, put strain on relationships. That's been evident in the relationships I've had with friends, family, what have you, when I was ill. And whilst I do not consider myself to be emotionally abusive, there were times when I behaved in ways that were emotionally abusive to those who were close to me. And there is it wasn't acceptable, it wasn't okay. And the way that those people see that, view that, judge that, and I do try to myself, is that it wasn't purposeful, it wasn't malicious, and if there was any sort of malicious, vindictive side to it, or manipulation, even, that it was part of the illness. There's a couple of books I've just read. This book, it's called Hope of Eating Disorders, and it's by somebody called Lynn Crilly, and she supported her daughter through an eating disorder. Her daughter's now recovered, and this book is out tomorrow. I got sent a copy of it to have a read of, and what I think is really helpful in it is that it covers what it's like to be a carer and what it's like to be a parent or a friend of somebody who suffers, and it's very straightforward in many respects. It's very easy to read, it didn't take me very long to read at all, so if you get yourself one of these, or maybe somebody close to you, maybe pick yourself up a copy of it. It's called Hope of Eating Disorders, and I think it will just maybe help people understand the strain emotionally that can go on for family, friends, carers, and maybe help you understand where some of those boundaries are. Another book which I want to recommend with regards to understanding boundaries is something called Stop Walking on Eggshells. Stop Walking on Eggshells, here we go. Although it says taking back your life when someone you care about has borderline personality disorder, it actually has something, it covers a lot of mental health problems. I have a lot to say about the diagnosis of borderline personality disorder, and And I think that a lot of people who struggle with eating disorders have a lot of borderline traits. So in terms of being emotionally abusive, in terms of those people being emotionally abusive towards you, the advice in this book is actually pretty good, because it takes away the blame. Nobody's to blame for an eating disorder, and it's something that the Hope with Eating Disorders book puts across, and playing the blame game doesn't get you anywhere. I mean, I was raped, and whilst okay, that acted as a trigger for my illness, and it's the emotional abuse that stayed with me, you can't blame that person for you getting ill. So this book is very interesting, and it sort of says in it here that it gives some questions to do with whether you're in a relationship that's becoming emotionally abusive, and so you can ask yourself questions like what you want from this relationship. How open can I be with this person? Can I actually sit down with this person and try and talk about how I'm feeling? You know, if you're feeling like you're being attacked verbally, emotionally, if you feel that the person who is poorly is impacting your self-esteem, your self-worth, and you're worrying about who you are anymore, and the person in your life is taking a lot from you, you might want to look at, you know, are you in danger at all in this relationship? Is it affecting my self-esteem? Am I remembering to love myself as much as I'm caring for and loving the person with the illness? And kind of what practical considerations there are. If you can sit with yourself and say, do I believe I have the right to be happy? If you're questioning that, that means that something's impacting you in a negative way. Do I believe that I'm worth being treated well? You know, how am I feeling? How is this making me feel? Is this personally how I'm feeling, or is this how I'm being made to feel by somebody who is potentially being abusive towards me? When I use the word abuse, I don't want you to think that I'm saying that people with mental health problems or eating disorders aren't abusive people. They can behave in ways that can be seen as emotionally abusive, and that's why I've kind of recommended a couple of these books, because it can help people understand, even help you understand if you're a sufferer, if you're struggling with an eating disorder or other mental health problems. You might find yourself behaving in ways and then judging yourself from that, and I think that you have to have an understanding also of, you know, you are going to behave in ways because that's what the illness does to you. And it's things to do with whether you still have energy to do things for yourself. Are you making the decisions, or are you doing what the other person wants you to do? If I was to talk to a friend and the friend was in this situation, what sort of advice? So when you're talking about the impacts of emotional abuse, both these books can maybe give you some sort of insight into whether. So the video is kind of for those of you who are watching this video who are struggling with mental health problems, and those of you who are carers of people with mental health problems, where some of those boundaries are, because obviously they're very blurred. With regards to identity, if we come out of an emotionally abusive relationship, if we realise that what we feel we are going through is emotionally abusive, it doesn't mean that we were emotionally abused always. What it can mean is that we were with somebody who we cared about an awful lot, or who was very, very poorly, and whilst you may feel you know that person is a good person, the way they are behaving towards you is impacting you, and that's kind of what matters. It doesn't particularly matter what you call what was going on. I've named this video, you know, emotional abuse and identity, but if wherever you feel like you're losing yourself in a relationship, wherever you are starting to question whether you deserve good things, if you're more wrapped up in the other person's life than in your life, if you're making sacrifices like not seeing friends, not going out, if you don't feel able to talk to the person who you're in a relationship with, if you become a victim to them almost, in that you're taking that stance yourself, you're allowing them to make you feel bad about yourself, that can change how you see the whole world. That's something that I've certainly experienced, and finding who you are again can be really, really difficult coming out of a relationship full stop. But in any kind of relationship, whether it's you know, a sexual relationship, it's with your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, whatever, or if it is within a carer's point of view, a relationship with regards to siblings or mothers, daughters, or sons and mothers, or whatever, I think you need to be able to say, do I know who I am? Am I finding time for myself? And that impact of emotional abuse can lower your self-esteem vastly, and I've come across that, and I'm someone who's pretty outgoing, pretty confident, and coming out of relationships at times can be very difficult. And certainly when I feel that I've given a lot to a relationship, it's hard, because you don't really know who you are, because you're used to being with that person. So that can be quite scary, and it can be quite scary kind of trying to figure out who you are again. And like we talked about last week, there's a lot of acceptance there, and it's about finding yourself. And that can be quite scary, but you know, if you do feel like your boundaries are being broken, and that those boundaries being broken is impacting you, that's kind of the most important thing. So I just kind of wanted to raise the issue that, you know, being in a relationship that feels emotionally incredibly draining, you might not realise it at the time, but when you come out of the relationship, you might realise that you are really struggling with sort of a sense of self-worth. And building that sense of self back up has to come from being around the people who do care about you, who do know you, who do remember how you are, and even by you just talking to them and saying, you know, what was I like, what, you know, and trying stuff. Like, I've realised how much I love being around my godchildren again, who I missed before because I wasn't living around here. And it's just starting to spend time with those people, and you find yourself again through those people because you'd found yourself before. I hope I've made some sense, and I hope that it's kind of raised an issue that maybe we don't always think about. And hopefully I will get a video to you again soon, guys. Okay, take care.